real news.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So the director... Oh, this news comes from Polygon.com. I guess I should start there. The director of Final Fantasy 15 is going to be heading up new Square Enix studio. So Square Enix has opened a new studio. The company announced in a new release that its latest development team is called Luminous Productions, with Hajime Tabata. Hajime... I can't speak the words. Anyways, he's the head of the studio. So Luminous Productions will not only have Tabata at the helm, but the director is bringing many of the people who worked on Final Fantasy 15 along with him. Together, Luminous Production team will work on developing new AAA titles and bringing innovative game and other entertainment content to a global audience. That's the gist of it.
Cool.
Yeah. It goes on to, there's a quote saying, "The next project I want to do is a completely new IP. I think it's going to be a very large-scale project based around everything we've learned and developed from Final Fantasy 15. So, at first I was thinking he's starting his new studio with the Final Fantasy 15 people so he can work on Final Fantasy 16. But then I read where it's a brand new IP. So...
yeah.
It seems like they're taking the style and type of game Final Fantasy 15 was, where it's like big open world action RPG style game, and creating something completely new. Hopefully, I would want it to be something similar to Monster Hunter World, to where in Final Fantasy 15, where it's you and 3 of your buddies, and you can switch back and forth between the characters. Imagine if you could just play online, and someone else could play as one of the other characters that's with you, as opposed to AI controlling it. I hope it's something like that. The Luminous Studios is named after a few years ago, whenever they were first showing off all of the next-gen stuff for like what would be the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. They showed off the Luminous engine, which they said they were going to use for like the next Final Fantasy game and all of the bigger games. And they showed off this really cool tech demo, but the tech demo never ended up being anything. But it was really visually impressive, and honestly, if they had it running on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, I wouldn't believe it, because it looked too
good to be true.
Yeah, it looked like it was too detailed and everything to actually be running on the hardware, which is the same thought I had whenever they showed off the Zelda Wii U tech demo. I was like, making one single room that looks this good, maybe the Wii U can do that, but the moment they try making an entire village or Hyrule field that's that detailed, I don't think the Wii U could handle it. Because even on Twilight Princess HD, which was a GameCube and Wii title, if you get close to a waterfall, it slows down to like 10 frames. And the Twilight Princess HD remake doesn't look nearly as good as the Zelda Wii U tech demo. So I was like, why are they showing off stuff that they know they won't be able to make? Which is kind of what the Final Fantasy 15 thing looked like. But now they have the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, which are even more powerful. So who knows? I could be talking nonsense.
Yeah.
But what
you
did
deal with that?
Yeah. But what did you guys think of Final Fantasy 15? Did you play it at all, Holly?
Yeah, I beat the game.
Okay.
I've played. I've done so much of the game. I have not done the DLC stuff. And in this article that we were just reading, it says that they released the Royal Edition just launched on PS4, Xbox One, and Windows PC. So I might buy it. I really love Final Fantasy 15, and I've been meaning to play all the DLC stuff, and it would be actually really cool to play it on my PC, because my roommate has my PS4 ever since I got my Switch. We've just left it in his room. Wow, my Switch isn't even on correctly. My 5-year-old doesn't know how to put things back, apparently. Yeah, so I loved it. It was a very great game, but a lot of it, people felt it didn't feel like that complete. So they fixed some of the stuff within the chapters, apparently in the new DLC, and they've released more that I have not done. So I might just play through it. It was a great game. It That is really awesome. I'm a big Final Fantasy nerd. Besides Zelda, Final Fantasy is like Zelda's like this, and Final Fantasy is like right here. Like they're extremely close.
Yeah.
10, 10-2, 7, 12 even I really loved. 13-2, not 13. 13-2 was amazing. So I'm a...
The time travel in 13-2
13-2 was
so confused.
amazing and very confusing. A lot of people didn't play it because 13 was kind of a show.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on, and people were like, this is weird. But 13-2 I bought and played and beat it, and I'm obsessed with the storyline, and I thought it was great. So, yeah.
I loved 13 and 13-2. Like, when everyone started complaining about 13, I was like, why are they complaining? It was like, whenever I first seen, like, the big joke a long time ago was everybody was hating on Navi, which some people still do. But, like, I always played the game thinking that she wasn't annoying. Like, maybe after you played the game 5 or 6 times and you already knew what to do. But in my head, I was like, if you play the game and you don't know where to go, she pops up, she gives you a hint. It kind of makes sense. And it wasn't annoying. Because she's designed for people whenever they first start playing the game. But anyways, I never thought that she was annoying. I thought she served her purpose. And then seeing everybody make fun of her, I was like, why are people doing that? It doesn't make sense. And then with Final Fantasy 13, I didn't think it was good as Final Fantasy 10, but I still thought it was a really good game. When everybody was hating on it, I was like, what? Why the hate? I don't understand.
People just, it was very I think it was so linear that people were like, what happened here? So, but I mean, Lightning is easily one of the best looking characters. Like, her character design is brilliant. I love it.
Some
so good.
Fashion company had her character model to model their real life clothes to sell.
Was it Chanel?
I don't remember. I remember seeing it and thinking it was like they're using video games to promote clothing lines.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I'm out of the job. Okay, thanks. Lightning has stolen my job.
Yeah.
But so Lightning's beautiful, and there's so much of that game that is beautiful. But yeah, a lot of people had problems with it. The music was great too. I remember the opening trailer where she's on the train and stuff. Oh my goodness, I watched that like religiously. So no, Final Fantasy is great. I love it. Even Spirits Within, even the movie that basically destroyed Square as a company, and then they had to become Square Enix. I remember that. That movie I loved. I thought it was great. I'm like, this is awesome. And it was basically the downfall of Square. Wow. It was so hated. So, yeah. And then, I don't know.
Well, what about you, Daniel? What are your thoughts on the Final Fantasy series? I became a fan with Final Fantasy X because I was, up until that point, I was used to playing Nintendo 64. So I was used to like Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64 graphics. And then my cousin was playing Final Fantasy X. And the opening cutscenes, I was like, this is a game?
Yeah, so beautiful, right? At the time, holy
games
moly.
Can look this good? I was like, it looks like real life. But now it just looks like a normal old video game. But yeah, that's
regular.
It's really not that bad, man. You just go watch that opening scene. Titus still looks pretty hot, man. Oh, whew.
Right. Well, Daniel,
I have a terrible confession to make.
Oh no!
You've never played?
7 is the only Final Fantasy game I've played, and I haven't even beaten it. I played it at a friend's house and when I was a kid. So that's it, folks. I'm just gonna bow out now.
No, there was. Did you guys see there was the official artwork for Smash Brothers that the artist for Final Fantasy drew Link and Cloud in the face-off to promote it.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see like
elementary school playground fights coming to fruition.
No, but it was really cool to see Link drawn in the style of like if the Final Fantasy team was to make a Zelda game.
I don't think I've seen that.
That's the artwork.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, like
it's a great piece of art.
Instead of Nintendo making the artwork, it was the Final Fantasy people. making it, and it was like
Right.
Cloud on one side, Link on the other, like they're about to have a face-off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, if,
Oh, I think I see it.
yeah,
Yeah. Beautiful.
Honestly, that was like, I can't remember how old I was, but I was always the huge Zelda nerd all through school. And then one of my good friends, he was really into Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, he let me play it a bit at his house and stuff. But yeah, that was like the big playground debate was like, who would win, Link or Cloud? Kind of.
Yeah, because they're both.
It was always a stalemate. It was. We could never land on a conclusion.
So, have you seen like Advent Children or anything? What? Oh no!
Don't hate me, everybody.
Oh
I haven't seen any of
no!
Advent Children.
I don't like first-person shooters. And when I was a kid, when I was younger, I would even get my brother to go Dirge of Cerberus.
yeah.
Yeah.
The PS2
The
game.
the Vincent spin-off. I made my brother play that game just so I could then watch all the cutscenes, so I knew what happened.
It's an
I was
Let's
like,
Play.
I did that with Ocarina of Time for the first time. I was terrified of that game. I was young, so my guy friends would come over and I'd sit there and watch, and they'd play for me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the first time I went through that game, I was not playing it. I was like, sit down. You play this. I want to know what happens. That's what I did to my friends. Yeah, so
The
I was
spider
a terrible.
house always scared me.
Oh, it terrified me. The well, everything. I was like, nope, not playing this. You can play it. I will sit in the corner. Thank you. I didn't. Yeah. So same with that Vincent game. I made my brother play it, so I knew what happened because everything within the Final Fantasy VII universe, I was like, I need to know. I need to know everything.
So are you
How dare
excited
you not know
for the new
Advent
remake?
Children?
Sorry. I know
Yes.
of it.
I cried then too. I
Yeah.
cried for that.
The Final Fantasy VII,
Yep.
the remake they're doing is interesting, and a lot of people are complaining because they're separating it into 3 parts or different parts or whatever. And my thought was it kind of makes sense because the original games were on 3 separate discs.
Yeah. What are you complaining about? They're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
It's like they're doing. And this way, instead of waiting like 5 or 6 years to get the full game, you get one every 2 years or whatever.
People are babies, man.
Yeah.
The internet's full of babies. Video game babies. Gosh, just be happy. Stop.
Yeah, I remember there was an interview where it was the same director that we were talking about in the interview here about opening up his new studio. He was the director for Final Fantasy 15, obviously. And whenever they showed the trailer, it ended with his name as the director of Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy VII HD remake. And later on, there was an interview with him where he said that was when he found out that he was directing the game. Like, he didn't know that he was working on it
Wow.
until that trailer happened, and then it was just Square Enix being like, hey, you're also going to direct this game.
By the way.
Yeah. So...
Wow.
I'm hoping.
What a way to find out.
Yeah, I'm hoping this year at E3, the Final Fantasy VII remake will actually get an official release date.
That'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
They do a good job too on their booth always. So, yeah, we'll see.
All right, and I think we can skip this Elder Scrolls news and go to the topics of discussion. Now, we can pick 2 or one of 2 here, or we can go with both of them. If you guys want. We can start with the top 5 biggest lies and pranks, since it is the day after April Fool's.
Yeah, very topical.
Yes, alright, so I will do another intro with this, and then we'll go into it.
Awesome.
Alright.